The cockroach physiology of digestion, anatomy of alimentary canal, and the digestive glands we are seeing yesterday. Now we need to move towards the physiology of digestion. So further, we need to know the food habit of cockroach. What is the food habit of cockroach? Cockroach is omnivorous insect. What is omnivorous insect? Omnivorous means it eats all types of foodstuffs. We say omnivorous. Omnivorous is a nature which means any organism, if it are all types of food material, we say omnivorous in nature. Okay. Then discussing about the omnivorous nature. Then after, you people need to know that mouth parts. Actually, we discussed mouth parts of cockroach earlier, but let me show you once again that particular mouth parts. Let me remind you that mouth parts, and then we'll get back here that the mouth parts are even having some role in the particular physiology of digestion. That means the location of food material in that particular aspect. So let me introduce you once again. Labrum, this is the labrum, which is called upper lip. And these are the mandibles. Mandibles are having incising and grinding teeth. Then hypopharynx. The movement of mandibles is possible with the help of adductor and abductor muscles. Okay. Then if any one of you are new, that the detailed explanation of mouth parts are given in the previous classes, that as I said to you to observe that particular videos, to watch that videos. Then the first maxillae disease, first maxillae which include cardo, stipes, galea and lecinia, and pulpifer with 5 segmented maxillary pulp. Let me say again, cardo, stipes, galea, lecinia, pulpifer and 5 segmented maxillary pulp. And the submentum, mentum, prementum, glossy, paraglossy with pulpiger, 3 segmented labial pulp. We discussed about this earlier in classes. So this is the labrum. Okay, labrum and mandibles, hypopharynx, that first pair of maxillae, and second maxillae we call it as labium. Labium. Okay, so that we discussed yesterday. That role of this particular mouth parts for the intake of food materials we need to go through. Let's take a look there. That in the PowerPoint, let's take a look that in PDF that we are seeing. It locates the food. How it locates the food? Labial pulp and maxillary pulp. It locates the food with the help of labial pulp and maxillary pulp. Okay. So that means that what is labial pulp, what is maxillary pulp? For that only, I just shown all this particular to you once again, the mouth part. The olfactory sensillae of antennae, that means antennae will smell the footsteps, and labial pulp and maxillary pulp are going to smell. Then food is seized with the help of forelegs, labrum, labium. Forelegs, labrum, labium. Who is called that labrum? Upper lip we say labrum as. Labium is lower lip. Then after the biting and chewing, cutting of food material, mastification is possible with the help of mandibles. Okay, and the hold the food during chewing. Why we need to hold the food during chewing? Why we need to hold the food during chewing? That, as I said to you earlier, that mouth parts are appendages in the cockroach. That everything outside, pre-oral cavity. That means that what is happening there? The food is grinding outside. Mandibles are present outside. They are doing like this. They are doing the mastification. In front of the mouth, it will happen because mouth part. Mouth part should not be appendage, but the mouth parts are appendages in the cockroach. So that means at the time of chewing, there is a possibility food may get dropped down. So how it was overcome? That they overcome with the help of Galliae, Laciniae. Did you remember? They are belongs to first pair of maxillae. Glossae and paraglossae. They are going to form ligula. That means the base. We say glossae and paraglossae. They form the base. Galliae and Laciniae from the sides they stop. So that by the time the food materials are going to be masticated. They prevent the food from falling down with that labrum and labium. So totally this particular story, to know all this story, you people need to have some idea on the mouth parts. For newcomers, that as I said to you, that who is the whom that I shown to you. That once again, let me show you that particular mouth parts. That for newcomers, let's come to that particular area, the mouth parts. I am connecting back again for you. Yeah, this is the labrum, that the red one. Then this is hypopharynx, and labrum and labium are helpful for what? They said they hold the food material. They pick the food material along with the four legs. They seize the food material. Mandible. This is mandible. Mandible for what? Mandible is for the mastification of the food material. Talking about the mandible, mastification of food material. Okay, so how do they move? They move with the help of adductor and abductor, the special type of muscle. What hypopharynx will do? That secretes saliva. Efferent salivary duct of salivary gland opens into the hypopharynx. Then labial pulp. This is labial pulp. This is maxillary pulp. What is the function of them? That we said they sense the food material. They smell the food material. Then after they taste the food material, gustatory sensilla even present in them. Next, when these particular mandibles are doing the mastification of the food material, the labrum and labium, galea and laciniae from the sides, and glossa and paraglossa, all these are going to hold the food material, not to drop out, not to get out. They are going to hold the food material. So that's all about the. This is a little bit confusing and complicated area that I analyzed that like this. Whatever the text sentences are there, that I analyzed and showed like this. Omnivorous nature, the sense, olfactory sensilla of antennae, labial pulp and maxillary pulp. Then the food is seized with the help of forelegs, labrum and labium. Biting and chewing of the food materials is possible by mandibles, and hold the food during chewing, and galea and laciniae, glossae and paraglossae. They are going to hold the food during chewing. Then prevent the food from falling down with that labrum and labium. The food is mixed with the saliva during mastification. We said there are two chambers, non-salivary chamber, sibarium, salivary chamber, salivarium. Okay. Then food is mixed with the saliva during mastication. So now we are passing through the particular foodstuffs. Basically, any human being or any animal, whatever, that foodstuffs are generally three types: carbohydrate, proteins, and fats. The fourth type, nucleic acid, is also there, that we'll discuss in second year in the human being. The carbohydrates, that how does the digestion occurs? That what is digestion? Conversion of the complex organic molecules into simple organic molecules. That primary definition you may have learned over from your earlier classes. Then carbohydrate digestion. Then first of all, starches will be digested into disaccharides. The disaccharides like maltose and sucrose further digested into monosaccharides. That glucose and glucose by maltose, glucose and fructose by sucrose. Conversion of the maltose into two glucose molecules done by maltase. Conversion of the sucrose into glucose and fructose, the two monosaccharides, done by the sucrase or invertase. So finally, for the digestion of carbohydrate, what are the enzymes required? Salivary amylase, maltase, and sucrase or invertase. So these are the enzymes are required. In that, amylase is from salivary juice that we are getting in the cockroach, and maltase, sucrase, they're all from the glandular part of the ventriculus. Then for the digestion of proteins, enzymes required are proteases. Proteins are digested into amino acid. For the digestion of fats, lipase, the enzyme required and digested into fatty acids and glycerol. For the digestion of cellulose, cockroach is omnivorous, isn't it? It eats anything. So for the digestion of cellulose, the enzyme called cellulase, that digested in the form of glucose. You see, the glucose, fructose, this glucose and fructose, amino acid, fatty acids, and glycerol, that all these are simple organic molecules, we see. Then who are the complex organic molecule? Carbohydrate, protein, lipids, cellulose. So what is digestion? Conversion of the complex organic molecules into simple organic molecules by certain enzymes like that maltase, sucrase, amylase, proteases, lipases, cellulases. So two things here. One, from where they are coming from. That very small area in cockroach. Like there are three portions we already discussed. One is salivary gland. What it is giving? Amylase. Hepatic CK. That also giving amylase. Then the remaining all the enzymes. Remaining all the enzymes are from glandular portion of the ventricular. All that like glucose, fructose, like maltase, sucrase, then the proteases, lipases, cellulase. Cellulase is special actually. The maltase, sucrase, protease, and lipase. All these are from glandular part of the ventricular. So from where the cellulase is coming? That is secreted by the microorganisms present in the hindgut. Symbiotic microorganism, friendly microorganism. They are releasing an enzyme, cellulase enzyme for the digestion of cellulose into glucose. Okay. So that whatever the food materials, now how do they digest? With the help of enzymes. So how do they pass over? Now let's start from the beginning. From the beginning. That means how the digestion occurs. Now I started from the mouth. Food materials from the mouth. Okay, so from fresh beginning, cockroach smell the food material with the help of antennae. Cockroach stage the food material with the help of antennae, maxillary pulp, and labial pulp. Seizes the food material with the help of forelegs, labrum, and labium, taking inside. Then mandibles are doing the mastication of the food material. At the time of mastication, not to drop down from the sides, Galea and Lacini are helpful. A first maxillae. Then at the base, at the time of mandibles are doing mastication, that particular glossae and paraglossae form the ligula. That ligula as a base. Okay, food materials are masticated, hypopharynx secreted saliva. The food materials are combined with the hypopharynx secreted saliva, and then they entered into the esophagus from the pharynx. Then crop that food materials are going to store for a while in the crop. Okay. So from the crop, when food enters into the gizzard, what happens in the gizzard? You know the property of gizzard, what happens? The six powerful teeth are present, isn't it? Six powerful teeth in the gizzard. So that particular teeth are doing mastication again, crushing the food and filtration, that backwardly directed bristles behind every teeth that going to do the filtration. Okay, so after grinding, after filtration only, the food materials will enter into the ventriculus. Ventriculus. Okay. Then that you see here, there is a huge protection from the gizzard to the ventriculus food materials. Grinding occurs, filtration occurs by bristles. Then after we have a valve, stomodial valve, we say that all these particular, after this security check only food it enters into the ventriculus. Even though the food even entered, immediately they are secreted by a special kind of membrane. What do you say? Peritropic membrane. That means we need to see why this much protection for the ventricle, that we need to check it out. Let's go little back from the first page. You see, the foregut internally lined by chitinous cuticle. No elementary canal in the animal kingdom will have this much protection. That because cockroach is omnivorous. It eats anything. It eats slipper, it eats sharpen item, it eats everything it eats. That's why that elementary canal is lined by chitinous cuticle. Pharynx, esophagus, crop, gizzard, all their hard lining you'll find in the inner. Then hindgut, it is also internally lined by chitinous cuticle. But midgut, ventriculus, is not lined by the chitinous material because they have to secrete enzymes and they need to absorb. That's why they don't have chitinous lining, lined by endodermal cell. So that means from the sharpened objects of the food, whatever the stuff it is eaten, that should be protected over, isn't it? For that, what kind of arrangement we made? Gizzard will crush the food material, and after that, the crushed food materials are filtered by the bristles. Then after only small, fine particles will enter through the valve. Valve also protect not to enter that hard stuffs, the larger stuff not to come. Then immediately when foodstuffs came, immediately they are released by, they're surrounded by a membrane. What do you say? Peritropic membrane. And you see, in the peritropic membrane, larger foodstuffs are there. Then we send enzymes. What are the enzymes? Maltase, sucrase, for what? Digestion of carbohydrate. Proteases, for the digestion of protein. Lipases, for the digestion of fat. Then the food materials are digested into glucose, fructose, and as well as the amino acids from the digestion of proteins, fatty acids from the digestion of fat, that all the digested foodstuffs will come out from this membrane, because you see mesh like membrane. If digested, they become size reduced over, that microscopic particles can come out. That those who are not digested, they'll stay inside only. Okay, so then digested food particles will be absorbed. By whom? Absorptive part of the ventriculus. Okay, what next? What next? This peritropic membrane along with the undigested foodstuffs will enter eliminated into the ileum. Okay, so from the ileum they come into the colon, and from the colon they come into the rectum. Is there any activity in rectum? Yeah, that 6 longitudinal folds are present with rectal papillae for the absorption of water. Then the undigested foodstuffs is going to be eliminated through the fecal matter. So talking about the peritropic membrane today, the peritropic membrane is a protective membrane for protection giving for ventriculus, a network of chitinous fibrils, a glycoprotein matrix basic. So finally, food materials are digested, food materials are absorbed into the absorptive part of the ventriculus. Undigested foodstuffs we dropped in the ileum, then to the colon, and finally released out the rectum after the absorption of water. What next? What next? Here you see that absorption, digested food is absorbed into the absorptive part of ventricular, and water is absorbed by the rectal papillae. Then undigested and excretory materials eliminated as dry pellets. What next after the absorption? That will be transported to all over the body through the blood. Blood of cockroach is called hemolymph. The blood of cockroach is called hemolymph. Okay. So this is all about the physiology of digestion. So with yesterday's digestive system, elementary canal and digestive glands will end, and now we have completed the physiology of digestion.